Mando's starter pack is perfect for new customers. As a special offer for listeners, new customers get $5 off a starter pack by using code K100 at shopmando.com. That's SHOPMANDO.com. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Smell fresher, stay drier, and boost your confidence from head to toe with Mando. Cody, did you watch Dynamite?
Yes, I did.
So Kenny Omega comes out and cuts a promo. Basically, but once again, he's not dressed for work. I guess he had that shirt that he had as part of his merchandise. He had the sleeves cut off, but then he had shorts and sneakers with no socks on. Like, remember how he's talked about how like these guys show up for work sometimes, and they look like they're in their lounge around clothes, and like he's out. I don't, whatever. They don't think it's a big deal. I do, but a lot of people. Well, and it's like the second lowest segment on the show. It looks like his promo.
Okay. Keep that up there, because
right. And he basically he didn't really say anything, or he thanked Takeshita to push him to a place he hadn't been able to reach for himself, and then he referenced the Dynasty International Championship Eliminator Tournament, and said he would be watching closely for who will face him at Dynasty on April 6th, because there's a tournament to face him now. And like this, that's all he said. He came out here, he cut a promo, didn't challenge anybody, thanked Takeshita, and didn't really forward any angles or anything.
Well, here's the thing. I'm looking at this diagram, and you know how I always say that the main event has to have main event stars.
Right.
They had Hechicero. What? In the main event, and even the overrun, okay, went down. So they were watching the match, and then maybe they didn't like it, so the overrun they weren't interested in, and it went down a little bit.
Let me explain something too here about this company. They're in a very precarious situation here, because this show actually did better than I thought it was going to do, because like if you look at the actual matches, like none of these matches are like compelling matchups at all, right?
Right.
And the viewership didn't have the ski slope like it usually does, right?
That is
true.
I
thought it'd be less, but I'm just wondering if this is basically their average viewership now. Like 600, what was it, 628, Joe, or something like that? Like last week was 6. I think the week before was 680 or so. It's just six. This is about their average show.
628.
Well, this week, but what was it? 2 weeks? What were the 2 weeks? The 3 weeks before this? Okay, because some were low, some were high, but this is a couple shows where it didn't have the ski slope viewership, which just fell off the rails. But
so let me give you my viewpoint.
Go ahead.
This is basically all I really got to say. Come on, Kenny, you're the world champion, and you walk out in shorts.
He's not the world champion.
Well, he's the
international champion.
Still,
that's another thing too. This is like supposed to be their top guy, and he's happy he's won the international championship. There's only a couple wrestlers on this show that even reference the world championship. Like everybody should be, these guys should be like talking about that.
Okay.
These guys happy about winning the international championship.
He doesn't have the major championship. Anybody wearing a belt should look like a world champion.
Right.
Okay?
Correct.
You look at boxing champions, UFC champions, WWE guys and girls, and they're always, they're making money and they're stars and they dress the part. Right. I mean that, and I just think that AEW, even though they own ROH, they have ROH in their DNA, and they don't care, because Punk and Samoa Joe, they would just go out there in shorts, basically. You know what I'm saying? And they don't care about the pageantry. They kind of want to look like the fans and be able to relate to the fans, and it makes them look like they work at 7-Eleven, but continue.
All right. So then
this week, the ratings GS4 was 600.
Right.
Okay. The week before was 598.
Right.
And the week before that was 563, so they actually are on an upswing here, back up to 628.
628, yeah, interesting. Because so what they're going to do now is if they need to get these, because bro, for the next 2 months they're unopposed, then hockey and basketball playoffs start, and their numbers are going to suffer decisively. All right. So then the funny thing is Omega. I had no idea why this next match even happened, except because the Ops, Shibata, Joe, and Hook coming to the ring. Shibata is in the Elimination Championship Eliminator Tournament. So Kenny was walking to the back as they were coming for the ring entrance, and they stopped and looked at each other, Shibata and Kenny Omega.
So then
the
I saw
Ops,
that.
So then the ops come to the ring, and they wrestled 3 jobbers, and they beat him in 2 minutes. I have no idea where this match took place. And one of the guy that they beat was very green, and he had a dumb spot where he like just dove and landed on his face at some point. Just like it was very. The guy should have been on TV.
So just so you know, this bit of news that came out, I know you guys are gonna be very excited. We were talking about Kenny Omega's International Championship. What they're going to do down the line, DI, is after this tournament, apparently it's been reported, they're going to unify the International and the Continental Championships. That's what's coming. Now, what happens when you unify the International and the Continental Championships?
You got a unified championship.
It'll be called the Continental Intercontinental Championship.
There you go.
The International Continental Championship.
Right.
The Continental Championship.
Yeah.
Or the Intercontinental Championship.
But that was the people on X's joke. Oh, so
I wonder if that look
yeah.
looked at Shibata and Kenny Omega meant that Shibata's gonna go for his belt.
It is headbutt.
Gonna go for his belt. And then the other thing I want to say about the ops is, bro, they always face jobbers.
Yeah.
And instead of going in there and squashing them, they give them some time. These are 3 guys nobody knows. I doubt any of them are under contract. Why are you even giving them any time?
No, they didn't though. You missed, bro. This was 2 minutes long. They didn't give them any offense.
I wouldn't even give them 2 minutes.
But the workers that they wrestled against weren't TV ready, to be honest with you. So backstage, Ricochet gave an interview. He said he was screwed at Revolution and he didn't want that stupid robe anyways. He said he entered the Eliminator tournament because he still wants gold. And he offered his first round opponent Shibata a chance to quit ahead of Collision, saving himself the embarrassment. This is actually a decent promo. It was short and sweet, but Ricochet cut a good promo here. So
okay,
he's been hit or miss with his promos lately, but his delivery is far more confident than he was in WWE by far.
Right.
You know, yeah.
I think when he keeps it short, he's good. When he's long, he's brutal.
Correct.
This is the best version of Rico I've ever seen since Lucha Underground. But he said something that I always cringe when I hear it because it's never been done and it's like a lame trope. How many times or have you ever seen somebody say, I'm going to quit while you're ahead? Because that's basically what he's saying. I'm going to give you a chance to quit, right? Who has ever quit and said, no, I don't want to wrestle you?
Right. So they go backstage and Swerve Strickland was interviewed after the pay-per-view and asked about who he wanted to challenge for the AEW World Championship. And he was asked about when he wanted to challenge because he's got a right to face with the champion. He said Dynasty in Philadelphia because 1 year ago at Dynasty, he became the first black AEW champion, and he planned to do it again. If I was an interviewer, I would have said, well, you can't be the first black champion again. I would have hit him with that. So Adam Copeland approached him and told him that he didn't get beat. He plans to get another shot at the AEW World Championship. But this is not, like I said, this is all, and they fist bump each other. So this is all just, I guess this is the way they're building up for these tournaments, having guys talk about
that there's a chance Swerve and Edge might face each other.
So Moxley cut a promo backstage and said everyone should appreciate the irony of an opportunist. Tell him he got a gift. Moxley was mad himself for putting Copeland away before Christian got involved, and he admires Copeland for coming forward, even after he knew he hurt him, but he doesn't respect anybody who complains about the rules. Moxley said he'll take the rules and throw out Copeland's excuses and declared himself professional, and one of the things that makes him professional is that he doesn't make the same mistake twice. And he said Copeland will face Moxley in a street fight in Omaha next week. And I guess this is how they, this was the build-up for that.
Okay, I thought it was a good promo. The thing about Moxley that I like is he has a depth and intensity that most guys don't have. There, obviously MVP and MJF and those guys, the elite talkers, but mostly nobody does, and he doesn't really say superficial stuff. Like he gets in deep, like he did in this promo. Right.
So Hologram made his entrance with Hologram. So this is okay. So to release it on Brian Cage.
One thing I want to say, because I think this
Hobbs. I don't know why this.
One thing before you start, because I think this was right before it. Did you see the video package they did on Revolution?
Yeah, but it was just. What did you think of it?
I thought it was good.
I did not.
It was different. Yeah, I thought it was good.
What did you like? What did you like? What did you like about it?
That they're giving you a recap of what happened in.
But you weren't paying attention. They didn't.
Yes, they did.
Bro,
that's exactly what they did.
They went through this thing. They didn't say who beat who. They just showed just those shots of move after move. It was just it wasn't like a narrated storytelling vignette. It was just a bunch of highlights of all the moves. That's it.
I guess to me, I didn't notice that, but to me,
Pull it up, Joe. I want to find that vignette, Joe. Find the vignette. I want to play this because I want to say it's because I thought it was like I said, they're doing them now, but you got to do them correctly. Bro, vignettes are designed for storytelling and explaining storylines. This explained absolutely nothing.
Well, I was
just
happy.
Highlights of the match.
I was happy.
Like what's next?
I was happy with it because it showed highlights, which they never do. Okay, and I wonder if they're only going to do it for pay-per-views or every week, as they actually should do.
So what was the video? I'm sorry, I was answering.
It was like at the opening segment, they did a video that showed all the highlights of Revolution.
Revolution highlights.
I think it's after the Ricochet backstage.
All right, so we do Jalisco and Cage against Hobbs and Hologram, and like I said, I had no idea why they were having this match, because Cage and Archer should be getting pushed. As they got so this was a mix of whatever, and Jalisco missed some spots and it got ugly at the end. But they basically Jalisco and Hobbs were not on the same page, at the end, but finally they got the finish right because he caught him with the spring. He springboarded into a spine buster, and then he hit him with the pin. So that looked pretty devastating. The other best spot in the match was actually pretty cool. Is that basically he did the dive outside the ring, and Hobbs is doing, and Cage is doing the thing where he's catching these guys in the suplex position, but the guy dove too fast, he couldn't catch him, but he caught him in the suplex position and just hit him, the momentum suplexing him on the floor. So it looked great because it looked like the guy dove out of the ring, and the guy kind of vaulted him when he caught him into a suplex on the floor.
It did look very good.
It did look very good. It accidentally looked very good. Right. All right.
That's a good way of putting it.
All right, so let's see it.
Ricochet's time. That's a problem.
I just got the way the timer was. I just got to watch 5 seconds of this.
Okay.
Well, if we know one thing about Katsuyori Shibata, there is not an ounce of quit inside that man. But right now, let's take you back.
Hit the enlargement, Joe. Hit the enlargement.
And Revolution this past Sunday night. AEW Revolution is live. This is my company. And fans, we got some.
All right, that's stuff.
They did show a lot of winners. Monet, they showed she won. They showed the Hurt Business won.
You recap the entire pay-per-view in 1 minute.
Right.
Like, what are you? That's like, what are you gonna? Like,
I agree with that.
That's
I agree
what I'm saying. That. Like you like I said.
No, you originally said you didn't know they didn't show the winners, but they did.
Right. Well, that's what. Well, but they didn't show the pinfalls. Is what I meant. Like, they didn't, you know what I'm saying, right? Yeah. That's what I meant. Okay. So after the so Hobbs wins after. So Cage actually, bro, he doesn't need to be in there with these lucha guys because he should just kill them. Okay. But both him and Hobbs should have just been beat these two kids, because they don't. That's what it looked like should have happened. Finally, Cage started getting the end. The GMS was it?
Yeah.
GMSI, yeah. But after the match, Hobbs had a stare down with Cage, or Archer came out and they had a stare down. So that's leading to them against Hobbs and somebody else, I guess, maybe. Even though I don't know what happened with them in the Hurt Syndicate.
Yeah.
Like I thought you were building, were building Cage and Archer up for the Hurt, and they started it. This just hadn't gone anywhere, So I don't know.
Like I said before, Jalisco acts way too much like a babyface, and they put in the right guy to base Jalisco because Cage knows how to base. So
they go to a backstage bro. All the funny thing is, they had all these promos on the show, but they didn't have any angles for the promos to address because they interviewed the Hurt Syndicate backstage, and and Sheldon wanted to know where they kick next, and MVP told him to take the week off and he would handle TV. Basically, was the gist of it. He didn't really say anything. Then they had a Tony Storm Mariah May feud, and this was actually a well-done feud because it had a lot of detail to it.
Yeah, but basically what it was is that these two guys wanted to see who's going to kick next, and they wanted to go train, and MVP was like, hey, we play hard, we party hard, take some time off, go to the beach, pretty ladies, a couple drinks and all that. It looked like he didn't want them to be in the arena when he went to talk to MJF. That's what it looked like. Correct.
Okay. Okay. So you know what they could have done here, all right? This would have been interesting. Okay, is he could have told me to go take the night off. You show them walking off, and he was kind of promo. And at the end of the promo, you could have had Cage and Lance Archer coming back from their spot and had a little thing with MVP there where he doesn't have his boys there with him, and maybe kind of like try to intimidate MVP a little bit. So that's
Not
just
a bad idea.
I don't know. That's just me. God forbid, right? So Tony Storm cut a promo, and basically cut the promo about the match and said fighting her is like a zoo because she bleeds like a pig and fights like a lion, but she said nobody swings like Tony Storm, so put your keys in the bowl and let's get started. And then she dropped the mic, and then out of nowhere she was attacked by Megan Bane, who stood there with her expressionless face on thing, did her arms like it, and they kept the shot for a while.
Yawning.
She got one shot.
Sorry, that got
She got one shot in on her, knocked her down, and she was down there selling, and she didn't get any more heat. Just stood there, and they kept the camera shot on this for a little bit too long, for my opinion. What did you think of this?
Mute it, bud.
I thought that Tony probably is still the best personality character on the show. She had some good lines there. You never know what she's going to say, especially using the double entendres. And this girl, Megan, or is that her name, Megan?
Megan Bane.
Yeah.
Yeah, she shows no
personality at all.
Right.
Nothing. Okay, but by the way, I want to make a point here. I forgot about this. I want to remember this. So in that tag match with Harley Graham and what's her name? Now, mind you, Harley Graham is Harley Cameron. She's involved in the storyline, right? So the only time they shot her this entire match was when they went to the floor and Moros was going to start getting heat on the kid, and she stopped and started doing her gyrations, like dance gyrations, and Moros was conflicted or something, and he walked off. And literally, bro, they never shot her again the rest of the match. Unless you saw her on the backside of the ring. Did you notice something? Because I forgot she, I showed that.
That happened to me too. I forgot she was ringside because they never showed her.
They never showed her. I was like, yeah, so then you think that they would show Harley Cameron, God forbid, right? She's pretty hot. So they do the elimination tournament matches. The Beast Mortos, they introduced Speedball Mike Bailey. He got mild applause. You like this guy. To me, he's kind of one of these high flyers is still kind of green with his selling. There's no way I would take this guy's finish in a million years. He literally just does a spinning karate kick right to the guy's jaw with his back heel, and I'm like, get out of here! Like you're not doing that. Like I don't know why these wrestlers don't do this anymore. You know the kick is coming. You're letting the guys kick. They're not pulling it. Go ahead.
He did a kick on Mortis where Mortis put his hand right in front of his face.
Oh, he did fight, yeah, but not the finish though. The finish, he just let the guy clock him right with his heel in the side of the whatever. But his kid's got talent for this show. He's still a little bit undersized. He's like your typical kind of like he needs a little bit more muscle.
Yeah, but he's very creative and he does a lot of most people don't do. But these two guys worked in AAA, so I know them very well, and they're easy to work with. If you wanted to make him look good, this was a good match to do it with, and this was the right person to do it with. Well, you know what I'm saying?
Once again, we have a little guy beating a big guy, so the big picture, you kind of expected this to happen. So our boy Max Caster's in the ring, claimed to be the biggest star of the Acclaimed. He started his chant again.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Right.
And there was a couple people.
Which is too long for anybody to really say.
Right. Yeah. It's very awkward. Okay. Right to say.
Which is on purpose.
I guarantee you he's going to start doing that, and you're going to literally have people start chanting along with it.
100%.
Because you can see some fans were trying to do it.
Right. Right. Next week there'll be a little bit more, then a little bit more. Right.
Bro, very entertaining. His thing is he's just very good on the mic. You know what I'm saying? So he was doing the rap thing and everything. So he started his chant, and he said the people Frizz are so stupid that so is whoever answers challenge. It for some reason Takeshita comes out. I don't know why they'd use him for this spot. He asked if Takeshita was there to invite him into the Don Callis family. She said, "There's no way he could be there to fight me." Then he hit him with a big elbow shot and put him to sleep, and then picked him. I was going to pin him and picked him up and hit him with a raging fire, hit him with the wind, so beat him in 14 seconds. So, but Max was once again very entertaining here with his shtick.
I thought the same thing. Why are you having a heel fight another heel?
I don't know why they did that with Takeshita, but they could have done with anybody. But it's going to be great when he actually bid. he'll probably lose like 2 or 3 more times, and then he's going to beat somebody. You know, and there'll be a deal where it's somebody that's in a big angle with somebody else, and they'll just come in from behind and hit them with their finish, and he doesn't do anything, and he'll just cover him for the win. It's like, you know, so,
yeah, there's got to be a point where he reaches a breaking point.
Yes,
right.
yes, or there's got to be a payoff here, you know, where he actually gets a win. So, okay, so I didn't see this. So for some reason, I'm supposed to care about Gravity and Bandito's family because Jericho embarrassed them at the pay-per-view. It's like he beat him up with the bat in front of him and made his mom and sister cry. Bandito, and so then Jericho was kind of promoting this, and maybe Bandito's just the unlucky SOB was the guy in the front of him when he decided to stop letting people get too comfortable around him. So I don't know. I thought it was kind of.
It wasn't a bad promo, but because it wasn't goofy like some of the other ones he's done. But
the angle's ridiculous. Like, why is he right? Yeah.
Right.
No, this is a well shot promo.
Yes,
but it's like I didn't even know they were in equities. I don't care about it. So then we do Penelope Ford against Willow Nightingale, and after the match, Willow Nightingale wins. After the match, Ford hits her in the belly with a chair and hits her with the worst chair shot of the year. Maybe the worst chair shot in arguably the last like three. This was as bad as the Hogan chair shot on you. Did you see this, Konnan?
Yeah, bro. I wonder if how long she's going to be out after that chair shot, and that just shows you can tell that this girl's never really swung a chair before.
Right. Joe, go to the beginning of this, okay? Because look how long she's hunched over, waiting for her to hit her, and just sitting there. Like that's the thing when I talk about selling.
Right.
Have a little bit of motion, or like like you're moving around.
Get on one knee and get back up slowly.
Right.
And boom.
I'm like, look at the sell here. It's atrocious. Go ahead. Oh, they didn't show it.
And she's selling it. Look.
Bro, and the crowd literally like, okay, bro, okay, watch this. Okay, Konnan in the front row, from the left turnbuckle. There's Joe. Press pause. Go to the beginning. Press pause. Okay, look at this girl and the front. The back of the ring from the turnbuckle, the left turnbuckle,
right?
3 seats over the lady with her hands over her face, right?
Right.
Watch her reaction when she hits her with the chair.
Yeah, the chair in hand, and Penelope.
Oh. She was like,
"This is brutal,
bro, horrible." I mean, and I feel, you know,
and you can tell she's never swung a chair. They should have had her practice, on the turnbuckle or something before she went out and do this. But
and here's another thing too. I watched that, and this literally crossed my mind. Okay,
and she's the same person that didn't get out of the ring when Thunder Rosa came in with a chair.
But I'm wondering, okay, if I wonder what this girl is going through her mind right now. Probably knowing she's getting railed on social media. And like how she's handling it.
What's the girl's name? Penelope Ford. Joe, see if you can find her on Twitter and see if people are roasting her.
Yeah, see, she said anything because I'm just wondering if like this, she's getting like, how sensitive a lot of these wrestlers are these days. If she's getting like, getting bothered by this. So then Chris Statlander ran in to make the save, but then Megan Bane come out and beat out of both of them again and gave the F5. So she's wreaking havoc on this show, but she knows that she needs to learn how to do facial expressions
with a very monotone look.
All right.
No, so she doesn't tweet much. It doesn't look like.
Okay, interesting. All right. I kind of feel bad for her because like these days when you have like that, it's a lot of exposure. You know what I'm saying? So
that's odd because I mean maybe it's like you guys said, maybe she's never swung a chair, but dude, she's been around for 10, 11 years. CZW.
Oh, CZW. Well, that explains it.
With WSU and.
Okay, so Renee Paquette interviewed Monae, and then so our girl Billy Starks interrupted the interview again, who kind of just looked. It's like she's. I don't know. This girl's character is very weird because she kind of looks like she's lost, but she looks like she's trolling. Like one of those like she's like she knows what she's doing and she's kind of just making fun of the whole situation, but. Billy said they were a lot alike, and she says Monae changes everything, and she was looking to change it to a champion next week. Mercedes laughed and told her she was out of her league and told her there'd be a price to pay next week for messing with Mercedes Monae. But this was a very awkward interview segment because this Billy Starks girl is very young and very green.
She's like 19. But here's the thing. Monae was annoying as she usually is. She pretended she couldn't talk because of a kick that Watanabe or Momo.
Right. Momo Watanabe.
Right. Gave her at the Revolution. But this was actually one of her better backstage vignettes because to me, the visual was so, telling. Bro, Monae just looks like a huge superstar with an aura. This girl star has zero star appeal.
She had on her dress with a bra underneath, and the thing, the little hook on her dress was like flopped over her arm, and she had to like pick it like it's. She looked like she had a dress on that she bought at Target.
Bro, she has no star appeal, and she just looks like an indie performer.
Right. Like a lot of these girls do.
Right.
So then we go to a Will Osprey promo, and Osprey told this long story.
Wait. About the Christian? Because I thought that was pretty good.
That's not
Christian
yet.
back. We're not there. Okay, my bad.
So Osprey's cutting this promo, and he's out there in he's out there in his merch shirt, but his pants and shoes didn't match with the shirt, so he looked like he didn't know what he looked like. He was dressed like a person with a color blindness, right? But like I said, he should be dressing a lot nicer, and he doesn't. And his merch is not nice.
He's their top guy.
It's like sloppy. So he told this long story about the match with Osprey and how his wife said, "Don't jump off the cage" and stuff. And he told this story like it was a very long story. And they said that he remembered he realized he was in trouble. He remembered he was on Prime Video and saw the camera phones. And then he said he took the bump and he got a call from his wife. She said, "Oh, honey, I oh, you're fine, everything." And then she screamed, "But you jumped up the gate!" But he thought the punchline of the story was going to be funny. The crowd didn't pop on at all.
Right.
But he said Cope. They just talked about his shot at the title, and that was it. It was just
He's trying to be like one of the fans. He goes, "Well, she was calling me and I didn't want to answer the phone. You're in trouble then, right, guys?" And everybody was like, "Yes."
Just like the story was like, your wife, like whatever.
And here's the thing, he has good passion when he's when he's saying stuff, but he doesn't really have much to say.
Bro, the guy needs somebody to work with him on promos. He needs a writer.
Yeah.
Like his delivery's fine, very passionate. He speaks, stuff. But like these promos don't go anywhere.
Right.
Like literally, what did that get you? Like, what did that make you interested in? That promo? Nothing. He didn't say anything. So then they go backstage, and Jay White basically talked about one maybe we'll wrestle again. I didn't hit Copeland on purpose, and I said he wouldn't let anybody stop him from destroying the Death Riders and becoming the world champion. Like this went nowhere too.
Yeah, but it wasn't a bad promo whatsoever because it had passion, good delivery, intensity, and something that Will Ospreay's didn't. It had good content. So I wasn't down on it as you are.
So this whole show had nothing that I was interested in until MJF bumped into Adam Page backstage.
Right.
And they had an excellent exchange here. Okay. Hangman said
Wait a minute, you didn't like the Tony Storm promo?
We already went over that.
Yeah, but you didn't like that because you said up till now I hadn't liked anything.
No, because it didn't go anywhere. Wait, actually, how come I miss it? Whoa, why is this? Did he miss the Christian thing? How come I didn't?
I think you passed it, bro. Did you see that, Joe? The Christian thing?
No, and I'm looking at the quarters and I don't see it listed. I'll find out when it was.
Oh no, I missed two things here. Oh no, dude. Okay, yeah, right, here we go. All right, I got to go back here. I missed two things. Okay, so after the Beast Mortals mess, I lost my place. Let me go back. But the rest of the stuff is you didn't miss anything.
Yeah.
So Renee Paquette is backstage and asks Christian questions about his contract cashing on Sunday. And Christian refused to speak to Renee because she's related to John Mox, so she dismissed her. Okay. Once she left, Christian said the referee screwed him because he demanded a one-on-one title match with Cope, and instead he made it a triple threat. He demanded his contract be returned to him and claimed he would still be the champ one day. And then Nick Wayne stood up to him and told him, "You're just making excuses. You should have stuck to the plan, and we would be world champion." So he was going to get in his face, but then the mom got in between them. Then he told her, "If you get in my face, you're going to be working back at Waffle House." So then Christian got... Tony, you're making way too much noise with that.
Okay, my bad.
So Christian, you're still making way too much noise. Take it off of your pillow, bro. It's touching your pillow.
No, I think it's touching this wire.
The cable is, yeah.
Yeah, good.
All right, so Christian got in his face and told me he wasn't a loser like his biological father, and said he and his loser dad knew nothing about winning world championships. Said the next time they had the conversation would be the last time, and he would be the AEW champion one day. But basically, the gist of this was Nick Wayne stood up to Christian here, which I thought came out of nowhere, and I didn't know. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, why?
Right.
There hasn't been tension building, and all of a sudden he got in his face and said he was a liar. I thought Christian was great here. Okay, when he basically told Renee, bounce Bia,
Right.
and this group just seems so irrelevant. The mom doesn't add anything. Nick Wayne, who's the other guy in the group?
The Kip Sabian.
Yeah. This group, Christian's the man here. This was a good promo to me.
Right. Okay. So then I forgot this whole other segment because I don't know how I missed my spot here and I missed all this. So MJF comes out for promo. It's interrupted by MVP.
Right.
And they were friendly because they've known each other for years, and said he was proud of him because he did everything he said he was going to do, including become the heavyweight champion. So the MVP's put him over. But then he said he wasn't proud of what happened on Sunday because he's out here whining instead of hiring people. He said he's lost his edge. The boys in the back no longer respect or fear him. He said that's what he's missing. He was unable to, and was able to help him once in the past, and maybe he can help him again. He says maybe it was time for them to discuss business. And he handed him his card. MJF refused it. Said whether these people recognize it or not, he was the world champion for 406 consecutive days. Then MVP offered the card again and told him to focus on the word was. And MJF took the card and put it in his pocket. This was weird. Like I said, there's all these angles we've gone over. Has there been any heat on the show? Just if Tony Storm get attacked by Megan Bane and get knocked down was like the only heat spot.
Yep.
Like these promos are all. There's no heat or nothing.
Well, this one there wasn't heat.
Cody, you gotta knock it off with the thing.
This one didn't have heat. All right, bro.
Hey.
So this guy, I thought when MVP came out, I thought this is gonna be good because they both talk good and they've never had a promo battle, so it seems fresh, right? What I like most about this is that why did MVP have Shelton Benjamin and Bobby Lashley leave so he could do this without them? Mm-hmm. And what's going to happen is he going to have to find two guys and fight the Hurt Business? Is he going to join the Hurt Business for a little while? So there's a couple, ways you could go with this. Let me just say one last thing. MJF, who obviously cares about and gets it, his image, dress is nice, the scarf, the hair is nice, in shape. Bro, how hard is it? He has the most uneven tan Star Zone look like.
Yeah, on his face, the spray tan was brutal.
Right, and his hand. And here's the thing is like, does nobody tell you, even if they're playing around, nice tan, dude, and you go like, oh, maybe I need to look at. Nobody you don't look at yourself on TV. I'm begging you to get a tan. As a matter of fact, the old Scott Hall line, I dare you to get a tan. Nothing.
Do you think there's any chance that he's doing it purposely, like a bad tan, like to be obnoxious?
It's plausible. I'm wondering why, because it looked terrible. It's a terrible spray tan, period. Or maybe like it's a rub-on tan. I don't know what it is.
But why would you do that if you dress to the nines, your hair is nice, you're in shape? That's kind of a...
I don't know.
Yeah.
So backstage, so they run in. So after this promo, that later backstage, he runs into Hangman, and Hangman said he didn't believe MJF. He didn't believe MJF was going to light him on fire last week, and he was right about something else. And that's the fact that MJF cares about what the fans think of him. MJF replied that he was going to go and do what Hangman never could, and that's win the AEW World Title again. While Hangman climbs a mountain and falls down just before he reaches the top, he then told him that Paige doesn't think he deserved the crowd's love, and he's right because he'll never win the big one and make them proud. And Paige said, "I guess we'll find out." Well, but this is a good, serious exchange between the two guys. They have good chemistry. Like Paige is a good character. These are two of arguably the two best actors on their show, besides Christian
and MVP.
I would say that for the three characters whose acting skills are the best, Christian, MJF, and Adam Page.
And I would stick in there also Copeland.
Yes, Copeland's excellent too. I don't like Moxley because I think Moxley tries to act all weird, like he was
like he's Jason Statham or something.
But he's not a good actor. Like he's not acting. He's trying to act crazy, and I don't get that. I think you're just acting crazy.
That part right there. Yeah, I get the same vibe, but he does have good promos.
Yeah, but this is good TV with Paige and MJF for sure. Next was the main event. I'll be honest with you. This main event, like, you know how they say back in wrestling, they said, this match is a main event in any arena in the country. Okay, well, their main event here was a main event that would not have been a main event in any arena in the country, except maybe the Madison Square Garden Armory.
And I always say the same thing, Disco. I always say the same thing. This is a name-driven business. Nobody knows who Hechicero is, so he has no reason to be in the main event.
Pull the numbers up again, Joe.
And I wasn't interested, and I'm not wrong, because that was the lowest-rated segment of the show.
Yeah, it ended at 535 in the overrun. Good grief.
Yeah.
How about this, though? So this is their main event angle, right? Orange Cassidy wins, and did she have they close the show?
No.
Let me read it to you. Tell me if this compels you for next week.
Yeah, because I forgot to record the show after, and I missed the run.
Oh, you missed it. Okay, so yeah. Orange Cassidy wins. Let me read you the climax of the show, Cody. You're going to love this. Right. After the match, Speedball Mike Bailey walked out and pointed at Cassidy as he will face him next week in the semifinals.
I'm watching.
Speedball Mike Bailey and Orange Cassidy next week. Bailey made his debut and comes out. He was the last thing we saw on the show.
You say you've seen a lot of wrestling, and this is what you get us to entice us as a cliffhanger?
The show. All right, so that's been.
But he writes all the shows, Disco. I want that to be perfectly clear.
Right.
Okay. He's learned to say no to other people, not be collaborative. Okay, so enjoy the rest of the show. Boom.
Yo, what's up? I just want to thank you guys for watching this clip. Don't forget to hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And join our YouTube membership for hours and hours of exclusive, unedited, uncensored content. And being a member will help you get involved in our upcoming live streams. Thank you for your support. Thank you for riding with us. I know you got a lot of other podcast choices, be it wrestling or other ones. And thank you for picking us. Boom.